that's how it all came. It was his mom and trying to help her out getting answers and then expanding this to serve mass majority of people.
Yeah.
And he says his mission is to eventually because he knows it's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight thing. That, in 5 decades, we could have a drug-free world. I mean, no side effects, no adverse reactions, nothing that could combat, make us feel different or change, just support us in what we're wanting to support in. So that is his mission.
So feel me when I bring it, sing it loud. I'm from the loot and I'm proud, run a mile for the cause. I'm right.
Hi, guys. It's your girl, Nahama, your favorite Jew from the Lou. Welcome back to my podcast. And today I'm so excited to have Lynsey Goedecke with me. Welcome.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here. When you told me about coming on here, I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to come on.
I know you have the best personality for podcasts too, because we just had such a good rapport.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing you everywhere. Like ever since we started connecting on Instagram, you are hustling.
Yeah, I'm consistent. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to be because in nowadays culture, we have like what, not even a second of attention span.
Yeah.
And so when you want to get your business in front of people and for people to remind themselves of you, you have to show up all the time and show what you're presenting, what what you're trying to serve. And so, yeah, yep, consistency outweighs just, a one-time viral reel.
Yeah.
They've seen studies that if you're just consistent over amount of time, that's going to actually be the way to go for growth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm so excited about this conversation. I have so many questions for you, but let's start from the beginning and talk about your business
Mhm.
and these patches that are absolutely amazing. I'm all patched up today. I've got two on.
Yeah, I got 3. Yep, 1, 2, 3. 3 on.
And I'm so intrigued. And I'm not gonna lie, like I am very woo-woo. I
Uh-huh.
love trying out new things. I'm kind of like very intrigued by like Eastern medicine and wellness. Like that is something that I've gotten more into over the past 6 years, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm still a skeptic in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, most people are because they don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Right.
So,
And you're like, is this a gimmick?
right.
Is this like an MLM thing? Like, are you trying to get, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and the nice thing is there's nothing else like this. And I know you mentioned before that, there might be similar ones, but we'll get into that. But yeah, there's nothing else like this out there. And it's MLM, but it's a completely different space of MLM.
Yeah.
It's not like anything else you've ever seen.
That's okay.
They are the research and the technology is protected, so no one else can copy it and no one else can duplicate it.
Oh, wow.
So the founder has actually done that. So it's locked down the technology. It's only for this company,
Yeah.
SuperPatch. So you asked me how I originally started with
Mm-hmm.
SuperPatch. So well, I can take you back to actually just how I started becoming a business, like, minded person.
Yeah.
It was back in 2020. I was a graphic designer for a company that I worked for like 7 to 8 years.
Shout out to the graphic designers. That was my background too.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. And
That explains why your stuff looks so good.
well, like it took me a while to understand the reels and stuff like
Mm,
that, but like Canva and everything came easy because I already knew Photoshop and Adobe programs.
right.
So Canva was like, that is like they have templates already made for you. You just have to tweak it and fix it up and,
Can we pause for a moment and
yeah.
say that Canva is not cheating? I know that graphic designers feel that way, but honestly, like in today's day and age, you have to be fast paced, right?
And Canva makes it
And
fast
to be
paced.
consistent, and they know Canva already has like it's ahead of the game in terms of what's trending,
Oh, for
right?
sure. That's why I use it. I love it.
Absolutely. And then also CapCut as well.
Yes, I used to use CapCut.
Love CapCut,
I do
depending on
edits
what you're
now.
doing. Edits. Okay.
I use edits on Instagram. I love it. Now, for people that are not really savvy with reels, probably edits is not the way to go. Probably
Yeah.
CapCut is because they already have templates for you. But
Yeah.
edits actually has like other social media influencers and stuff, they actually have templates down on there for you that you can use their template. If you like their song, the templates, like how the beat goes with each slide of, the video that you're doing, you can use their template. Not all of them provide that. They provide the audio, but
Yeah.
some of them will provide the reels. Yeah, that this is another like thing that I'm in love with is designing the reels.
The creating,
Yeah, the
it's
creating
really
part.
fun. And
Yeah.
it's like that all this is all full picture coming together because like the graphic design passion, I think it's more of Canva as a tool. So if you
Yes.
already have that eye for design, having those templates, yours are going to come out so much better than someone who comes in and doesn't quite understand the idea of brand and consistency and
Yes.
what they want their page to look like.
Yes, yeah, I've been,
Yeah.
from the team, the SuperPatch team, like, I'll get messages be like, "You need to teach Canva. You need to help us teach Canva," and I'm like, "I know, I'll get there
Yeah.
someday, you guys." You only have so many hours in a day, but, eventually, I will do a little, like, Zoom online class that's free for, Canva use and stuff,
I
just,
love
the
that.
basics
Like
and
a
stuff.
workshop.
Yeah, like a workshop, just, the basics of how you put one together or how you find the template that you want to start with and how you plug in what
Mhm.
you want. But um so so yes, you're right. Canva is a tool. It's not cheating in graphic design. I love it because it does save time. So back in 2020, when I was working for a company, it's a scoreboard company. I was a graphic designer. And then, COVID hit. And so from there, I lost my job. I was 5 months pregnant.
Oh,
They let me
wow.
go. They were going down to a very small team at that point because everyone was, working from home or
Mhm.
was on lockdown. And so, working for 7 years and I lost my maternity leave and whatnot. But, at the time it was hard to kind of go through that because I was 5 months pregnant, lost my job, COVID hit. So everyone was in their homes, not seeing anybody, so socialization wasn't there.
Yeah.
Um,
And being pregnant, that's a huge
and
stress on
yeah,
your pregnancy.
yeah, yeah, it was crazy. And then I had my son in August of that year. Um, you couldn't have family visit you or anything, and so it was just me and my husband. My husband was a solid rock during it. He was amazing, and so a lot of life changes within a short amount of time, right? And so I was a stay-at-home mom for a year and a half about, and then I told my husband, I was like, I need to go and do some I want to do something,
Mhm.
again, I want to get back out there. And so we had grandparents that watched my son during that time. They were amazing, And so I went back in for part-time work as a graphic designer for a company. And then from there, I was presented an opportunity to do like a little side hustle kind of deal, And it was a different company, it wasn't SuperPatch. And so I worked that for a bit. And that was my first true experience of like starting a business online
Yeah.
and sharing the products and stuff. And it was a messy. It was it was messy at first, but like everyone that starts a business, it's messy at first. You have to learn.
It
You
is,
either
yeah.
fail or you learn from your mistakes. And so I just kind of like watched other people and I asked other people how they did it. And so from there, I just kind of like kept going, I guess. And then this opportunity with Super Patch, my year will be coming up May 4th
May 4th?
with Super Patch.
So it's been a year.
Yeah, close to a year. Yeah, very
That's
close.
next week.
That's next week.
Oh
Yes.
my god, for timing.
So May 4th is my anniversary with Super Patch, and that year it went really quick. But I scaled in business. So I've been my own advocate and business oriented person for 3 years. And then with Super Patch, it's just skyrocketed from there. It really has just landed me with great connections, with
Mhm.
great opportunities, and I only feel like it's expanding from there. So I left the other company. It just wasn't aligned, and I wasn't seeing growth. And so when Super Patch came and I saw the possibilities, I saw the technology, I saw the research, I saw that it's not just one niche it's the whole market
Yeah.
because you're thinking about people that have pain, that are low on energy. You're
Mhm.
thinking of people that need help with focus,
Yeah.
people that, are struggling with stressors in their life and they need support that way. Like the market is huge. We have a patch for anyone
Yeah.
because if you think about somebody that could use these patches, I know tons of people that can use these patches. And so it's nice that you can service everyone
Yeah.
with these patches. It's just not one type of person.
For sure.
So I just knew from there when my friend presented this to me, I was like, yes, I'm gonna give it a go. Like I'm gonna add this into my business. And my business, I have it called LMG Health and Wellness. It's my initials. Um, but someone else said, "Oh, that's a great one." And I was like, "You know what? It's Lynsey Marie Goedecke, but also living more gracefully." You
Oh,
know?
I love
Yeah,
that.
living more gracefully. So,
Yeah.
health and wellness, because not only is it about the super patches, but it is for, I want to tell women you might be a stay-at-home mom, or you might just, at the time you think you're just a wife and you clean the house, you do the dishes and you do this, but you can create an income as well from,
Mm.
if you're full-time
Yeah.
working a full-time job, just if you take the time out an hour or so a day, which we all have that. We can not doom scroll, we all
Oh,
do,
yeah.
like you
You're
just
being
have to
generous saying it's only an hour a
yeah,
day. Okay.
the doom scrolling, I'm
Yeah.
guilty of it too. The
Yeah.
doom scrolling, if you can get yourself accountable of your time and your attention, you have time to build a business. Like
Mm.
there are moms out there that have 5 kids and are building a business.
Yeah.
There are moms that, like me, just have 1 child and I'm building a business. But, it's all priorities, but that's who I wanna kinda reach out and say it is possible. So not only do I share the patches, and that is a big part of my business, but I wanna show other women there are possibilities,
Yeah.
you know?
I would argue that, to your point, moms are the best women to like run a business because you're literally running off of zero time.
Yeah.
There's like, we all do not run off the same 24 hours, you know? Like, as a single woman with no kids, I've got oodles of more time. But I feel that the moms that I meet in whatever business, whatever industry, they're so much more efficient with their time
You have to
because
be.
they have to be.
Yeah.
And they also really value their families for the most part. You have those moms who are like, just career driven and like they got nannies and they don't really care about their kids and whatever. But there are moms who are like, no, I have these windows that
Mhm.
I am
Yeah.
superhuman in because when my kids come home, when my husband comes home, I want to be with them.
Oh, that's definitely yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real with you. It is very difficult to get that
Mm-hmm.
structure down.
For sure. Because it's
Um,
changing, it evolves.
yes, it's very hard. I'm gonna be transparent. Like my son is in school, right? So that's when I do majority of my work. Who's really available in the evening? Your customers, people you're servicing.
Oh, yeah.
They're available in the morning.
Events.
Events. They're
Hmm.
available in the evening on the weekends.
Networking.
When do
Yeah.
you want to spend time with your kids and your husband?
Yeah.
On the weekends and in evenings. So you have to create a balance, and it's difficult to create a balance where your full focus is on your family and then business. You can fit your business. And
Right.
then you have to have those discussions with your significant other about what is at this point what you need for business and what you need for family as
Right.
well, because they do hit.
Yeah. I think being like a homemaker is one of the most honorable jobs out there. It's one of the most hardworking jobs out there for the women who can solely do that. Bravo.
Oh, yes. I think it's amazing what they can do. And then they put their full heart into it as
Yeah.
well. It's
But
just
it's a different type of energy for
yeah. Oh,
sure.
yes.
And so I think like as women, it's like sometimes women can, I know from my friends who are in that season of their life, whether they're married or they're married with kids, that they feel almost guilty for wanting something more,
Oh, yes, I've been
you
through that.
know?
Mhm. Oh,
But at
yeah.
the same time, I feel and I've heard from other people, and this is also just based on my own observations and from being someone who's a child of like having a mom who worked my whole life, that like when your mother is when and the wife is putting value into herself and her cup is full and she has her own life outside of her family that's filling her cup and she has a social life and she has friends too. I know it's hard to do it all, but finding little moments for each,
Yes.
that is such a good thing for the romantic relationship. That's such a good thing for the children to be able to see because
Yes.
it gives them something to look up to. And it's so empowering for you where it's like, obviously everyone wants to be in a relationship where they trust their husband financially, and it's amazing if you have a husband who could be the provider, but it feels so good to feel like you're contributing and you're not
Yes.
just taking,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah, and I everything you said, I just resonate with. Exactly. Yes, it feels like
Yeah.
you're good, you're contributing, you're giving back to the community, you're making connections, and, and also, like, your kids are watching you, you
Yeah.
know? My son has watched me, and, like, he's watched some of my reels, and he tells me, he's like, "Mom, do the balance test on me. Do it." You know? So, of course, I'm like, "Okay, honey," he's only 5.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm doing the balance test on him and stuff, and he just loves it. And he's actually I have a trip, with my dad. We're going in June. We're doing an event. He's a, bow hunter, so he archery shoots, and he does traditional archery shoots.
Yeah.
And
That's sick.
yeah, I used to do that way back in the day with him,
Yeah.
and, so I haven't seen this community in a long time, and I'm bringing the patches, and I'm doing like, setting up a booth there, sharing the
Amazing.
patches because, everyone I mean, archers, after a while, you've ran through that 3D shoot, you're gonna get sore,
Oh,
you know?
truly.
So, I'll have patches there for the guys and women, and, my son's gonna be a part of that because 'cause he'll be with me.
Yeah.
So he'll see mama in action, you know?
Yeah, and I could tell you, like, I was so intrigued when we met at the Babes in Business event. We had met prior to that
Yeah.
event where you
Yep.
talked about the patches. We had met at a different Babes event, but the one where we were at that photography studio, which both of us can't remember the name of.
No.
It's okay. Um, it's okay. But the point is, I remember you were talking about it, and I was like, so intrigued. And then Steph, the founder of Babes in Business here in St. Louis, she was like really going all out endorsing you. And
Yeah,
like,
she's amazing.
and that's important, right? Because
Yes.
you can make a business pitch, but when someone you trust
Refers you.
endorses
Mhm.
or refers you, like
Mhm.
you're like, oh, there's more credibility to it,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because like I already felt like you were such a genuine, authentic person when we had connected prior, but then also hearing that double endorsement from Steph,
Mhm.
then I was like,
Yep.
okay, I must know more.
Well, testimonies and referrals. I just got a referral from a lady. She, got the freedom patches, the one
Yeah,
that you're wearing on your foot,
yeah.
and she I got this random, uh, customer order, and I was like,
It's
"You
so
gotta keep
funny.
that in." That was hilarious.
It does
Uh,
that. Yeah.
uh, she,
Keep in the moonlight.
yeah, I emailed her and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, thanks for your order." And I told her, the step by step of how to work freedom, and where to place it, and if she has any questions. And I said, and by the way, where did you find me? Like,
Mhm.
where did you get my link and stuff? And she's like, oh, my coworker sent it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know your coworker, like, oh my, and she's like, yeah, she referred me to you. And that feels amazing when someone refers you or
Yeah.
shares your business. I mean, they don't even have to purchase what you're selling or what you're, trying to present, but when they share, like, trust, you and
Mhm.
wanna send that to somebody, like, oh my gosh, doesn't that feel great?
It really does, especially like as you said, it's just so hard to capture people's attention, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so there's in the end of the day, it is so important to have a social media presence, especially on Instagram, I would say. TikTok also is a really good
I
place.
haven't went on that yet.
I feel like you would go really well on TikTok. Like it's sometimes you can even do the same thing. I know they say that you should customize it per social media platform, but at least to start to have a presence, you would be surprised. I feel like you would grow really fast there.
I will take some time.
And there's the TikTok shop. So you can sell things directly through the TikTok shop as well. So,
Girl.
another,
All
I
right, you guys,
know.
growing, I'm expanding, I am bringing it in. I'm bringing it
I
in.
hear
I
you.
feel it. I hear you. I've heard it from others too.
Receive it.
I will be on TikTok.
You will be.
I will be. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, just give yourself a date where it's like by this date I'll have it figured out. Or okay, so I am someone who has ADD. And so part of ADD is like my entire life, people have told me that I'm a procrastinator, and I myself have identified as a procrastinator. And that's a terrible thing to like hold over
It
yourself
is, yeah.
because when you're a hard worker, you don't like to feel that you're lacking or
Mm-hmm.
that you're not putting your best foot forward. And then my parents would be at a loss because I did so well in school that I would do everything to the last minute, like studying like the night before a final and like, all these
And
things.
you did well
And I
yet?
did well.
Girl, I was like C student. Except the art classes. Art classes I rocked.
Well, the way that ADD works is that if you are intrigued by something, then your brain is like a sponge. Like I would read like an article and I would remember it verbatim word for word.
Oh my
It's like,
gosh.
but if I'm not interested, nothing retains. So it's like that's why when I learn people's names, I'm like, tell me, I need a little something, something about you, because a name is just a name. But a
Right?
name with a story, say less.
Ooh, that
Say
is a good
less.
way to remember people's
And
names.
they appreciate that too because then you see them
Yes.
next time. And a lot of people, there's a story behind their name too. So
Yes.
it's like kind of hearing that,
That's an amazing way
like
to
you're
keep,
Lindsay
yeah.
without a D.
Yeah, I'm Lindsay without a D. Well,
You
I
know?
just had this discussion about with a lot of people, and they said, you could spell Lindsay 16 different ways. It's probably more than
Yeah,
that.
probably. I could see that.
I've seen it so many different ways. I'm
It's
like, wow, people are
wild.
creative that way. But yeah,
They're
good
trying
for
to be
you that you
unique.
were good in school. I was not.
It wasn't I love that you say good for me, but I'm grateful, but it's not really something that it just came naturally because I was interested and I loved learning and I
What
loved
was your strongest subject?
I was a straight A student and like everything.
I was not only in art
I
classes,
just
but maybe I didn't apply
love
myself. I don't know.
think that's really it. It's like I come from a family of teachers as well, and I just feel that we've all had those teachers who change our perspective on a subject. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Where
yeah.
we're like, "Oh, I thought I hated math, but this teacher changed my life," right? Like I had a friend hated science. She had an amazing science teacher and now she's a nurse because it totally changed the course of her life because she had one good teacher in like
Oh, that
chemistry.
is so good.
So
Yeah.
I think it really comes like, and I tutored for years, and I always felt that it was like, it's all in how you say it, it's how you present it. It's like, how can I connect with you in a way that you're intrigued and you're interested in, right?
Yeah, you got that down to a science too.
I try, you
You
know?
got you got it.
So but the point is I would procrastinate and then like it's just this horrible feeling and it's so much pressure on yourself to leave things to the last minute.
Yeah.
And it was hard because I didn't have any consequences for leaving things to the last minute. Because if I'm getting straight A's and I'm leaving things to the last minute, what
Yeah.
besides for the stress and being tired, it's almost like the stress helped me, right?
Yeah.
And so later on, when I learned more about ADD, I learned that like there's something called functional freeze where most people's brains they can sift through information and figure out what's important what's not. My brain has this influx of information all over my brain, and so I really struggle to prioritize, and sometimes I will shut down and I will doom scroll for hours when I know I should be more productive simply because I'm thinking of every single freaking thing that needs to be done.
And then it overwhelms you.
Correct. So let's
Yeah.
say for example like with TikTok shop or setting up on TikTok,
Uh-huh.
my brain would be like, oh, I need to be perfect from the get go. I need to be this number one best selling TikTok seller, right?
Uh-huh.
But really, day one, all you got to do is just set up your account.
And show up.
Not
Yeah.
even. If you even just downloaded TikTok
Girl,
That's step 1.
okay, that's a
You know
I'll
what
do
I
that
mean?
later
And so
today.
I have this journal on procrastination, but
Yeah.
it's teaching me about that where it's like perfectionism is this mask
Yeah.
of procrastination. It's a prettier mask of procrastination. And learning to live with grace, which is why I love that that's like what is all part of your brand, is giving yourself grace. Where it's like, no, I don't need to be a TikTok seller right away. I need to download the app. Day 1. Day 2, fill out my profile. Day 3, post 1 reel.
I like that.
Make a schedule.
Yeah.
And then you're not even applying yet to be a professional TikTok seller on the shop. Maybe your first goal should just be like, I'm going to just post consistently every day. And in your head, you're like, maybe within like 2 months, I'll get to 100 followers.
Yeah.
Maybe I could connect more. Maybe on this day, I'll comment on other users who are similar to me in the health and wellness space. I'll connect with them, start some conversations, see if I can do some collabs. It's like kind of scheduling it out slowly. And it's like that just 1% better every day.
Yeah, I like that. Now I could
Yeah.
the way you're laying it out, I could probably do that with TikTok
Right.
because like I'm pretty consistent on Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram, and I have that down pretty well. But yes, I will take that into
And
account
then
for TikTok.
and then you're probably also thinking, well, if I'm doing so well on Facebook and Instagram, putting in a third one when I'm already so busy, like that seems overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, yeah.
But what if you at that point were like, what if there's a program out there? Because there are programs where you
Yes,
can
there are.
schedule
Yes.
to all of them.
Mhm. There
And
is
this way
ones.
you're not spending the time to open up all those apps every single time,
Exactly.
you know?
Yes.
So
You're giving me ideas.
exactly.
And you sold me on TikTok now.
Good. Because even for me, like there was my favorite product, because I know you also have been in the supplement business.
Yes, that's the company I was with prior before
Yeah.
SuperPatch, yeah.
So my favorite supplement that I'm taking right now, because I can't do pills because I'm a child, is I do the Mary Ruth's liquid multivitamin.
Yeah, I've tried that. Mhm.
I love it. It's a half a shot glass. I take it
Yes.
every morning, and I'm just so intrigued by their business model
Uh-huh.
and how they go. And so it's like I want to get like Lake Cafe has an e-commerce site, but
Yes.
I'm trying to put myself in the eyes of the consumer. There's so many websites, there's so many things out there. If everyone's so crazy busy, how do I make it as easy for you as possible to find me and to access me? Because if there's too many steps, I've lost you.
Right. That's true.
So if on TikTok, if you can buy
Simplify.
my products right away, that's a plus for me. You don't have to go to my website.
Yeah.
And how can I get on Amazon? Right? Because Amazon's a really big coup as well. If I could get on there.
Oh, yeah. Are you thinking about getting onto
Yeah.
Amazon? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But meanwhile, here's like my whole thing with like Cafe. I'm like, on one hand, that's the e-commerce side of her. Like, that's a world of its own to grow that. And then I'm trying to get into the coffee cart private barista experience where I'm trying to get into more events and
Yeah.
upscale events as well.
Yes.
That's a whole different atmosphere. And then I'm also trying to get a brick and mortar. I'm like, girl, I need to calm down. And then under all
I
that,
love
I'm
it
like,
though.
maybe I should get a boyfriend. Then, it's like, I need to calm down. I need to calm down. I need
Well,
to,
then, because you would have to try to find out time for him.
that's what I think. But you know
Yeah.
what? Side note, I looked at so many women who I like admire their relationships, and there's a key quality that they all have of like at least from my perspective of what I want in a relationship. When the man is just like adores his wife, like worships the ground she walks on, thinks that she's God's greatest gift, right? It's usually when she's so unbothered. Like she's like, yeah, he's there. He loves me. But like I got my own life. I'm doing my own thing. And I'm so passionate.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck on that. It's hard to
Why?
when with marriage, it's gonna be a completely
Is it
different
different?
it's different, yeah.
Why?
I think maybe in the beginning, it's like that, the honeymoon phase,
Yeah.
but I think later on, as years go, you do change.
Yeah.
People change, relationships change. Bringing in children make a different kind of dynamic then. Um, and I think as you are changing, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was like, it's okay if they don't change. If they're the same person you originally, got with and married and have a relationship with, that's okay. Don't try to force them to change
Right.
alongside
Well, you
you.
can't change
But
them.
if you're changing for growth, for
Yeah.
future, and to be a better person and to serve others, go for it. Don't let anybody hold you back. And that is like something that you need to discuss with your partner, like I'm changing this way, but it's for good, it's not regressing or,
Mhm.
having bad habits or anything, but you cannot force them to change. Now, if they change with you and they want to, do this with
Yeah.
you, that's amazing. That is awesome. Take it and run with it. But you just have to have those really good communication and then also boundaries, like what you will accept and what you won't accept. Um, have you met men that are like worshiping the ground their wives walk on? That's amazing.
And it's at different stages of marriage as
Yeah.
well. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, pre-kids is a different era,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Yes.
Um, and I would say a lot of times it's usually when people get married a little later in life, I would say.
Yeah, I think definitely from your early 20s, if you got married to compare to 30s and 40s, it's definitely different.
Yeah, I would say, it's funny because in my culture, I'm 30, but in my culture, in the Jewish world, especially like the Orthodox world, we get married very young. So it's usually in your early 20s.
Okay.
And they would always be like, especially for women, they're like, it's just you get way pickier, like girls who get older, especially closer to 30s, they're just really picky. It's hard for them to get married. And I remember like being in your 30s seemed like the biggest, scariest thing if you were single, like worst case scenario, right? And now I know why they said that. It's because you learn yourself and you have these certain character traits, values, qualities that are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Versus when you're in your early 20s, you're just like, oh, he's so cute.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll
And
just morph
yeah.
myself to be
Yeah.
whatever he needs me to be. And like,
Yes.
I just want to be a good wife and a good mom one day. And all these things, you're so much more like,
Where you're young.
you're young. You don't
Yeah.
even have a sense of self yet. You think you do.
Yeah, you think you do,
Yeah.
but like you haven't really did 10 plus 20 years in a corporation or a job or
Yeah.
running a business. You haven't lived that yet.
And life throws all kinds of
It
challenges at
does.
you that aren't even in the typical gamut.
Yep.
So
Not
many
even.
things like loss of parents, like things
Yes.
like that will change you.
Oh yeah.
Um, and everyone's different too. I
Mhm.
think not all women necessarily are in that headspace where okay, so going a little biblical here, they talk about like the patriarchs like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Mhm.
So each of their dynamics with their wives were all different. This
Oh
was
yeah.
something I learned. So like the first one was like Abraham and Sarah were like the power couple, right? Equals, both doing their own roles, but like both killing it, right? And then you have so I'm thinking in Hebrew and I'm trying to do the English of their names. Isaac and how do you say it in English? Rivka is
Rebecca?
Rebecca. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then LOL. I'm thinking in Hebrew right now.
No, that's okay, yeah.
And so she was so much or more in love with him than he was with her. She
Yeah.
like looked up to him and he was like her person. She felt
Yeah.
like the camel when she saw him, right? Like she was obsessed,
Yeah.
like lover girl syndrome, totally. And then you have Jacob and Rachel, where he worked 7 years and then another 7 years for her. And he was just so madly in love with her. So those are the different dynamics that you
It
find. And
Oh,
none
yeah,
is
for
better than
sure.
the other. It's
Yeah,
just different.
it is different, yeah.
And I think each of us, I mean, I've gone through different phases of my life where I've been in different scenarios with each of those relationships. So I think it just depends on where you are in your life and the person that you meet.
I love that, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I think
And it could
so.
change within a
It
relationship.
does change, yeah.
Yeah.
Over time, personalities change and people change and or people stay the same and stuff, so it's just
Yeah.
working through that and having communication. I think it all
Yeah.
boils down to, like, really
Yeah.
good communication.
There was this conversation, and I was listening to a podcast, and this couple was talking, and he was like, "What would you do if, like, I met another woman, and I just thought she was like younger and more beautiful and whatever?" And right, like every woman's response was like, "Oh my God, red flag." But the girl looked at him, and she was just like, "You will. I'm going to get older." And my body and my age and everything's going to change. And there will be women who will be younger, more beautiful, more whatever. But the question is, do you choose me? Because in the end of the day, that's what relationships are about. She's like, I'm going to be great regardless.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like, are you going to choose me? Because that's what I'm looking for. You have to choose each other every single day. You're going to have rough patches.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yep. That's just being part of a relationship, and you're gonna have,
yeah.
um, and then I mean, when you say your, what is that called when they marriage vows? Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
When you do your marriage vows,
Yeah.
when they say in a sickness and health, that is so true. I see it with my parents. My dad came down with prostate cancer.
Hmm.
And so, as you age, that's just something. I mean, and not even as you age, illness and sickness can come at any time. And so that is another hurdle you have to kind of go through
Yeah.
with growing with somebody and living with somebody and having that relationship.
Yeah.
So, you see it firsthand with people that you love. So I totally understand that. And that is a big one.
Is he okay? Your dad?
Yeah, yeah. So he's done everything. He's done the radiation. He's done the chemo and he the prostate removal and all that. And so so far so good, but he'll always be on medication the rest of his
Mm.
life. And as time goes on, you can tell it wears on him. So but yeah, he's doing good. He's very active. He's outside all the time. He gets sun on him.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's a go-getter,
He's
and
a
my son loves
for
hanging out with
lifer.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, and he does his archery shoots,
Yep.
and that's what, spending as much time with them as we have possible. So, that's what and our trip to Indiana in June is going to be all about, just
Amazing.
having that time and connecting, and my son gets to hang out with us at the same time. It'll be good.
No, it's great. And I love that our conversation, it's so funny. I am with these podcasts, I call it the magic of the mic. Do you see
Yeah.
what I'm talking
Yeah, oh,
about?
yeah.
It's like it takes over in a listen, this is just a very authentic conversation. People think I scripted or prepare questions. Rarely do I. It's just more, I meet people who are very intriguing. I'm intrigued by them. I'm intrigued by their business. I'm intrigued by their thought processes. And I love hearing the heart behind the story, right? And I think that empowers people to want to work with you and buy your product so much more because it's so cool to hear behind you. You're not just selling a product. It's like, why are you selling this product? Why is it
Yes.
important to you, right?
Yep.
And so with the super patches, let's go into talking a little bit about a few of the different ones because I actually want to give a little endorsement of my own for my
Okay.
own personal
Yes.
experiences. What was the one that I had on that chills you out?
Zen.
The Zen one.
Yes. That's the one that
Oh
you commented back.
my
Yeah.
gosh. Of all of them, the Zen one is like, I mean, I haven't tried all of them, but of the few that I've tried, the Zen one is like by far the biggest game changer for me.
Yes.
I think cortisol is like the biggest thing that affects our health mentally, physically, emotionally, relationships, right?
Yep.
And so the ability for me, sometimes I can keep a cool head on the outside, but on the inside, I'm feeling very stressed. When I tell you, I put on the patch because I was like, whatever, sure, why not? Zen sounds great. I was so calm. My mom, my coworkers, like everyone was like, you are just like nothing's phasing you. And what was so cool about it was when I was in that headspace, I was able to be more productive, to get more done, to see problem or to see solutions from problems in a much faster and clearer way
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because I was just calm and I wasn't stressed.
Yes. You didn't have that overwhelmness, and
Yeah.
that's what it's supposed to help.
Yeah.
That just kind of. I'm trying to say the word
Like,
carm. I can't say the word,
I
but
don't know what it is.
anyways, carpet. I cannot say the word, but anyways, it's supposed to break down so you don't have all those tabs open in your head all
Yes.
at once. And
Yeah.
so that's probably what helped you kind of like not feel that and just have a very calmness about it
Mhm.
and just being able to focus on one thing to another to
Yeah.
another.
I like to say that being calm is my superpower, but it's not always something that I feel internally. And like when I was on those patches, I felt it internally too.
Yeah.
And I was really hoarding those patches because I love them so much. But we had actually in this very room, we had my cousin and his family over, and He and I sometimes like we love each other so much. It's more like brother and sister than just cousins. But like, oh, he's a Virgo and I'm an Aries. And man, oh man, do we butt heads sometimes. Like, I love him, but do I want to kill him and murder him on a daily basis? Yes, I do. So we just also like when you know someone for long enough, you know what buttons to hit.
Oh, yeah.
He was here, we were starting to get into it, but I was being really calm and he was getting mad at me for being so calm because I was wearing my Zen patch. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get you a patch because you're getting worked up and I don't want this energy in my space. So I literally got the sticker and put it on him. And he was like, holy shit.
That's
She's
awesome.
like, I'm calming down. And his wife like was like, I need to buy more of these for
Yeah.
him. She's like, I've never seen him just
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
fast.
That is so good.
I
Oh
know.
gosh.
Saving marriages and family
Yes,
relationships. No more
exactly.
awkward Thanksgiving dinners, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Literally.
Especially when you get a whole family, you need to like patch up everyone that day. Be like, okay, everyone's gonna be pleasant, pleasantries.
Right? Because we all love each other. It's just
Yeah,
we
yeah.
also know how to rub each other the wrong
Oh
way.
yeah, you guys
So
know.
that was great. And then this
Yeah.
boost one that I'm wearing too, like I just like we were talking about, there's when you're an entrepreneur, when you're building a business, there's so much to do in a day.
Oh yeah.
You need the energy.
You need the energy. And
Yeah.
it nice thing is there's no jitters or anything after that.
No.
Just take that off before night or you won't be able to sleep.
Yeah, well, that's goes to show how tired I was because I did not take it off before I went to sleep last night.
And it didn't bother you, huh?
Well, I mean, I take melatonin, and when I tell
Okay.
you that that stuff knocks me out, I have about 7 minutes before I get to a bed or a couch, and then I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's magic. It's magic. And
Well,
there's
that's
not a
good.
particular brand of melatonin. I will tell you, just give me any chewable, and
You're out.
I'm out.
I'm glad it works out that well for you.
Yeah, sometimes too well.
Yeah.
I have to get up for work the next day, and
Yeah.
I'm like passed out.
Do you ever get groggy from it or not really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I take it too late,
Uh-huh.
you know, and
I've
I'm
never
think
taken it before.
I was afraid to for a
Yeah.
long time,
Uh-huh.
but I would recommend it.
If you have sleep issues and yeah,
I
or
can sleep once I'm asleep.
uh-huh.
It's just there was two parts that changed for me. One was I have so much energy that like that wind down, very difficult for me to
Okay.
calm my brain down before sleep. So falling asleep was the hard part.
Yeah.
Once I'm asleep, I'm dead to the world.
Okay.
But the quality of sleep, I've also had way more into my REM cycle
Good.
when I started doing that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what you want because
Yeah.
that's where like all the healing and everything goes with and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's good.
Trying. So tell me, what's your favorite patch?
So my two favorite is Victory and Boost
Okay.
because I like being active during the day. I try to walk every day. I go to the gym, try to like strength train, and I'll be 40 this year in September. And I just noticed after having a child, after like getting approaching that 40 age, like I feel like I get fatigue a lot easier. I've always been a chill person. Like I've never had a ton of energy. Hence, I love coffee. So I'm a big fan of yours.
Yay.
I love coffee. I like caffeine but I just always been chill. Like my blood pressure is low, like not low, but like on the lower end.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I just always been kind of pretty mellow, and my parents will say that too as a kid. We used to live up in Alaska, and my first cup of coffee, mind you, it was probably more milk than anything, was 5 years old. They were giving me coffee because they didn't have to worry about me bouncing around and going crazy, because
Yeah.
I just wasn't that type of kid. So yes, Boost, anything that helps out my energy levels, I love that. And of course, I take some like B12s and all that. Your B vitamins are really good for energy as well. So Boost and Victory, and Victory is for stamina, endurance, and recovery. So when you're on your feet all day and you're moving and you're picking up huge boxes or you're working out or whatever, recovery is a big major component to that because you don't want to feel like super sore afterwards.
For
Like
sure.
because you got other things to do during the day and you're like, oh, my back, everything.
Yeah.
But also when you feel sore, you're like, oh, I've worked the muscles, I feel it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, recovery and then sleep also helps with recovery as well. Sleep is a big component. So but yeah, those are two of my favorite. I do like peace. I'm wearing a peace patch now because um like talking and stuff, even though there's no one here watching us, like like my
No.
anxieties kind of go up.
With the camera and the lighting,
Uh-huh.
the professional setup, it can really be nerve-wracking.
Life is fast, but every now and then, you deserve a pause, a moment that's just for you. At Le Café, we believe that each cup of coffee should taste like a little bit of luxury. Handcrafted and locally roasted here in St. Louis, each of our single origin beans are carefully selected to give you the most unique and smoothest experience. Whether you like a light, medium, or dark roast, we got you. For those busy mornings, or for my coffee lovers who prefer efficiency, we also have K-Cups. So go ahead and pour yourself a cup that tastes like self-care. Visit www.lecafe.us to bring the cafe experience home. Le Cafe, you deserve it.
Yeah, like I'm not a at this moment, I'm getting used to public speaking.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing, like I don't feel it's something that I'm working in towards,
Yeah.
and I will accomplish it at
I
some
think you're
point.
doing great.
But yeah, because it's you and me. But if it was like I did talking in front of we were at Studio Magnolia at Kelly's studio, and we were having a super patch kind of an event and sharing with these patches with everyone. And Lord, girl, I was so nervous. I was like
Really?
talking in front of people, and I'm like, why am I nervous? I love this business. I love the patches. Why am I nervous? You just get in your head.
Yeah.
So I had peace, I had zen that day and everything just to bring me down, like bring it down, just calm down,
Yeah.
and stuff. So but yes, I am working towards that and overcoming that fear because fear holds you back, right?
It does.
And you don't need that. And so I have peace on, I have Lumi, which is our skin patch, and then Ignite is our metabolism booster patch. So I don't have Victory or Boost on today because I haven't I use them as I need them if I know like
Yeah.
we're sitting. So and I need it
Save
for
it for
this.
when you're going to be more active.
Yeah, save it for when you're going to be more active um and yeah, that's how I kind of use the patches as I need. Some people need the freedom pain patch every day because they're in pain every day. Some people need um let's see, Zen every day because they do feel like their life is stressed and they're overwhelmed and they need to have that every day to help out. But I kind of just use them as I need them, as what I have going on that day or how I feel. So,
Yeah.
and you can go that way or however it supports you the best. That's the way you should use the patches because they're drug free and ingredient free. And then, that's what's amazing about these patches. There's nothing else like it. Now, this is technology that is protected. No one can have it. He has the rights to it. He created it. And so we know that there's not going to be any competition out there. Now, you said you've seen patches out there, but they all have ingredients in them.
Mm.
There's those one type of patches that are on Amazon and they have magnesium in them, they have vitamins in them, but that's getting it absorbed into the skin.
Yeah.
Your body is absorbing that. So they're different. These have patterns on them and ridges that sends gentle messages through the skin to your brain and body connection. So it helps support that. So whatever patch you're wearing, your body will read that. So it's kind of like braille. So we know for over 200 years that people have been able to use Braille to read. And how do we read Braille?
Right. We're feeling it with our
Yeah.
fingers. Yeah.
Feeling it with your fingers. The skin is reading that. So that's how these patches work.
Mm.
We know the skin can read because people have been doing it for over 200 years with Braille.
That's
So,
so interesting.
yes. And so your body is actually reading the ridges on these. and sending the signals.
Yeah. So the original founder, what was his name?
Oh, Jay Dollywall.
Okay.
So he is the founder. He's been going on for 17 years with this, with research. We have 16 published and peer-reviewed publications that are on the website, so
Yeah.
anybody can access them to read them. Um, Not many other MLMs or businesses have that,
Right.
and it's actually based on the patches itself. It's not based on anything else. It's literal studies on each specific patch.
Yeah. It's interesting. While you were saying that with that, I was wondering, my brain went in like 30 different directions of questions I wanted to ask
I could
you.
tell you were like really thinking, you're like, "Ooh, okay."
Yeah, yeah. So I was just wondering, I never made this connection before, but the concept of MLMs, it's been around for years, right?
Oh, yeah, for a long
I
time.
think a lot of times when I think of MLMs, I think of like Tupperware parties, or I
Yeah.
think of
Oh, for
like
sure. Pampered Chef.
Mary Kay
Uh-huh.
also, like the new
Yeah.
makeup
Avon,
brands.
yeah.
Avon, yeah, but it's basically like what brand influencers are nowadays. Like influencers who have brand deals
Yeah.
and
Yep.
get a code,
Yeah.
and like they're building, it's maybe not as invested as MLM is, but it's interesting. I wonder why the founder of these super patches, like, that was the business model he chose to go with.
Okay, so he did do an overview on this to tell people
Yeah.
why he believes MLM is the best way to service people and to bring these patches to everyone. So he says MLM is the best structure for this because not only does it have distributors sharing, like what I,
Mhm.
do, I share what the patches can do with others, but it also, you can create a business from it, which
Yeah.
helps people create income, bring income into the home. And also, um, it's the community, the community of people, ambassadors that are doing this. it- it's expansive, and the community is tight, and they are unified. They work together, and the business builders are just some of the people that you meet are just such genuine and great people. And so that's why he chose this. And plus, it's the market. Like, how are you going to reach that many people through an MLM, right? That's how you're gonna get all these brand ambassadors, people that come and join to want to start a business, and they share to their community. That's the mass, that's how you're going to get out there and expose what you have your hands on. And he doesn't want pharma to have this.
Right.
His mission is have a drug-free world. That is his. Now, he said it took 5 generations for people to start using, the pharma and drugs on a daily basis. And, doctors are recommending. I mean, what's the strongest what is the strong he puts it as this way. The strongest way to influence people and to in the health and wellness space, who are the biggest and most prominent people that can affect someone's decision in the health and wellness space? Who are they?
I mean, it's your
It's your
doctors.
doctors.
Yeah.
It's your doctors. That slip that they give you, the prescription, right?
Yeah.
And we trust our doctors.
Well, that's changing, but yes.
That is changing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of struggle that people have nowadays where it's like you get that slip and either you don't want to be on medication for the rest of your life,
Mhm.
or your doctor says you're fine or whatever it is, and you're like, am I know? Because it's like, let's say for me, I started the GLPs, which I think we talked about.
Yes. Mhm.
And it's like, that's a very controversial take, whatever. I don't care. I'm happy. It's like, here's the thing. For years, I would go to doctors. I've gotten my thyroid checked. I've gotten my blood worked on, all these things. I come back and I am, according to the science and the doctors, like totally healthy. And I'm like, I don't think my weigh's very healthy. Like, I don't feel comfortable in my body. I don't feel like this is going well. And it's like so frustrating to like be going to the gym and working out and doing all these things and eating better than like majority of people, and yet you look like you're neglecting your body. And people don't see the work. All they see is
The
your
results.
weights,
Mhm,
right? And so
mhm.
then they're just like assuming that you're not living this healthy lifestyle. And like there's nothing more hurtful than if someone's like, "Oh, you go to the gym," and it's like, "Yeah, better than you." You know?
Yeah, I'm building muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, probably more often than you do, but it's like it doesn't matter if you don't see the results. Like, I mean, I'm sure there is a health benefits of going even if you're not like seeing it, but just genetically, biologically, some people just need a little bit more help. And if there's something out there that can help, great. But it's so like disheartening to have that when a doctor looks at you and is like, "You're fine." You're like, "No,
Right.
I'm not." And I know I'm not.
And you gotta be your own advocate. You
Yeah.
really do.
And that's like heartbreaking to hear because it's like, shouldn't the people who are in a position to help us be on our behalf?
Oh,
But they're not.
absolutely. Absolutely. You have to be your own advocate nowadays, and you're right. The, that is being more aware and change, and people are looking for, functional doctors, which is
Hmm.
great.
Yeah.
Um,
Functional medicine and functional strength training, like that's
yes.
functional lifestyle. Like
Yes.
that is my goal. You're speaking
Yes.
my language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so many people are going that route because we want natural approaches. We want um, just our doctors to listen to us. So, with these patches, he is presenting this. We have over 1,000 doctors that are sampling and recommending this
Yeah.
to their clients. So,
Is he a doctor? Is that his background?
he's an engineer,
He's an
and he's always been
engineer.
a very successful
So how did
businessman.
he even get into this in the first
Okay,
place?
so his background is his mom had MS or has
Mm.
MS, and he's went to all the doctors. She's was wheelchair bound, and he went to all the doctors, and they didn't have any answers. MS is a very, very hard um, diagnosis, and it's very complex because every person's MS is a bit different.
Yeah.
And so he went through all these doctors, out of country, in country, and he just didn't get any of the answers. So he's an engineer, so he was like, there has to be other ways. So he's talked to other uh what is it? It would be scientists, engineers, and I don't know, 17 years. I mean, the research has been going on for 17 years. But he originally had like socks that had the prints on the bottom
Oh, interesting.
and like these patterns. And so that helped her move, have better quality of life. Because that's what we're all shooting for, is just better quality of life, like enjoying life,
Absolutely.
and feeling good while we're doing that. And so with the research, he was like, there has to be like other options out there. And so what not, having a patch that you can stick on and forget about it and go about your day. So eventually, when he worked with the scientists, the other engineers, they came out with these patches. And then not only for balance of stability, which is Liberty, that's the original one that he worked with his mom with.
Yeah.
The balance of stability, that's what I did the balance test with you.
That was
That's the
wild.
OG, the original one. And then from there, he created all the other ones to help other areas of your quality of life, the living, of like having energy, focus, and sleep, and just having that better functional day throughout the day of daily living. So that's how it all came. It was his mom and trying to help her out getting answers, and then expanding this to serve a mass majority of people.
Yeah.
And he says his mission is to eventually, in five, because he knows it's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight thing. Um, that, in 5 decades, we could have a and drug-free world. I mean, no side effects, no adverse reactions, um, nothing that could combat, make us feel different or change, just support us in what we're wanting to support in.
Mm,
So
it's
that is,
intriguing.
that is his mission. It's going to take a
Yeah.
while, but
That makes sense with the socks and the patterns at first because I've seen so many diagrams of how like different points of pressure on your feet
mhm,
like your whole body is
That's
connected.
yes.
So it's like, I don't know it all by heart, but it's like you press this one point, let's say it's like your toe like connects to your heart or
Oh,
something like
yes,
weird like
yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
So that makes sense. And almost like also like knowing the pressure points with like acupuncture, like this is all kind of like Eastern
Yes,
medicine
it
meets
and
modern
I think that's
technology.
where it kinda, like, stemmed from as
Yeah.
well.
It's
Yes.
so intriguing. It's like what are we were talking about this. What is it called? Your neuroplasticity.
Uh-huh.
Right? That's what we were talking about too, because
Yes.
it's like the same thing with the GLPs where it's like it's that mind gut
Uh-huh.
connection. So it's like the signals, like your body's talking to itself. It's the most
Ongoing.
complex.
Yes.
Funny coming from the space of an engineer because yeah, he's not a doctor, but like it is the most complex computer, if you will,
Oh, you're
you know.
absolutely dead on.
So
Exactly. It is the most complex, and we have those connections, and some of them are broken for people,
right.
and that's what the patches help. And so over time, we hope to reconnect those connections.
Yeah. I,
And
I think in the end of the day, there's always going to be people who are going to be haters, if you will, and non-believers
oh,
of
for
these kinds
sure,
of
until
things
you feel it.
until you feel it.
Until you feel it.
Um, I would just recommend try it.
Yeah.
Like just try it. Why not? Depending on your goals, I would recommend the Zen one if you're going to try one first, because I just think that
That is a very popular one,
it's
especially
gonna
with
change your
moms,
life.
women,
Yeah. But there's a few that are
people.
very similar. So like that's where I'm like, how do you decide between the two? Like peace and zen
So
sound very similar.
so peace will help those cortisol levels go down, the stressors, people that are dealing with emotional unbalance, that will just kind of help calm the nervous system. Zen helps you with focus, with the overwhelm, with feeling like it might be too much, and then having you help break down what you need to get done. Because
Yeah.
like I said, you can have 40 tabs open in your head and you're not going to get anything done because you're so overwhelmed with what needs to be
Right.
done. So Zen kind of helps oh, I cannot say that word. I'm getting so frustrated.
Compartmentalize?
Yes.
That's what you were
Thank
trying to
you.
say.
Yes. Oh my lord.
I was like, what word is she trying to
Yes.
say?
So it helps do that.
Yeah.
Um
Okay.
and I'm not going to try to say that word again because my gosh, I need a little zen or something to like slow my brain down so I can figure out what I'm saying. But yes, it helps do that. So it just kind of gives you that kind of sense of I got it. I know what I'm focusing on from A to B to C.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between peace and zen. And the other ones like are I would say the top 4 patches would be freedom, obviously, because people have a lot of pain
Yeah.
and, need just comfort, and some of them wanna get over, to step away from the over-counter meds, for pain, and so, this that freedom is a really good option. Just it saves on the liver and kidneys and, stuff that processes the medication. Um, so it kind of gives your body a break on that. And then the other one would be victory. Athletes love that. People that are always moving. Victory is a very popular one. And then believe it or not, the REM sleep is very popular. The
Mm.
sleep patch.
I mean, listen, if you don't sleep, it doesn't matter what your wellness space looks like.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you eat the best, you work out, all those things are important, but sleep is the magic ingredient
Oh
and
yeah.
the quality sleep. I am fascinated by how the elite of society, right? Nowadays, I would say it's not about having so much property and money and all these things, it's about quality of life.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're seeing like the very wealthy and elite a lot more leaning towards having those saunas, the cold plunges, they're investing in their sleep chambers. You know what I mean? Like people are spending so much money on all these products because quality of life has become the new upper echelons of society. Because
You hit it
yeah,
dead on. You're
it's
right.
changing.
It is.
It's also, I don't know if you've seen, but Hillary Duff has just
Yeah, she's just Everywhere.
She's everywhere, and she just made a statement recently. She partnered with Ladders, I believe is what it's called. It's
I
a
think you're right. I
fitness
seen that.
app,
Mhm.
and she's saying stronger, not smaller, because in an era of GLPs, now, I mean, they're expensive, but they're getting more and more affordable, and insurance is covering them
Mhm.
more and more.
Yeah.
So it's like being skinny and being thin is now something that's become accessible to nearly everyone, right? And with beauty standards, it always needs to be a little bit out of society's reach. There has to be that space where it could be the upper echelons of society. So I was listening to this girl recently on a podcast, and she like kind of predicts trends with beauty and standards and all of that. And she was saying that because of that, since it's going to be universal that everybody can be thin, being thin isn't going to be what's considered top echelon of being beautiful.
Interesting.
She's predicting that the new beauty standard is going to be muscles.
Muscles. It's been, yeah, strength training has been uh hitting the trend for the past, I would say, year. 2025, it really hit hard. That's when I started seeing it more and more
Yeah.
because like you said, the GLPs started coming out and people are like, work out, get the muscle tone so you don't lose that, keep your muscle tone. And plus, more muscle and and healthier eating they're seeing longevity. They're seeing research done with you keeping your muscle, building your muscle. That ties in with longevity.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to get rid of our muscle because our muscles are part of helping our hormones too. We store a
Yeah.
lot of hormones in our muscle, and so we want to keep our muscle. Um, so that, and like you said, with sleep, number one component when it comes to recovery and just functionality and being able to show up the next day, right? If we don't have
Yeah.
any sleep and we're struggling with sleep, your health is going to decline.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because I had this thought process recently with coffee. So many of us feel wrecked from just overextending ourselves, not getting enough sleep. So coffee is like our lifeline to make us like act, function, and be somewhat human, right?
It's my first thing in the morning. Besides, I
Yeah.
do try to do the glass of water before my coffee, but I love it. I love the taste. I love my routine,
Right.
and I love that it gives me a little.
But my thought process was, what if we started to change the narrative and it's like focused on getting good sleep, and then coffee is that extra boost. So instead of it being
Absolutely.
a band-aid, have it in addition to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're well rested and you're caffeinated, look out.
Yeah. You're going to be a
Look out.
powerhouse. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let me get my sleep. Let me be in my deep REM
Uh
cycles
huh.
and then wake up, get caffeinated, and
Feel good.
feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you are actively working out. I see you
Mhm.
fist bump yourself every day.
That's my
So
thing.
I love it. And I think also with working out, it's mental like health as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's probably the number one thing I work out is because of the high I get
Yeah.
afterwards. It's a really good high.
I've been doing more mat Pilates at home as well. I
Oh,
don't
good.
I don't share that on the web. You don't know everything about me. But I do try to do a little mat Pilates yoga sprinkled throughout my week.
Yeah.
And how that my whole my trifecta, my what did they say in Christianity? Like the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, right?
Uh-huh.
So mine with wellness and working out is strength training, walking, which is like my cardio, and then do Pilates and yoga. And so those all each have their different forms of my balance. But what I've noticed is doing yoga and Pilates has taught me to bring my breath into my movement and using that to get deeper, to get more impactful. And then also being really grounded and rooted in that moment when I'm working out, where it's like if I'm doing a squat, if I'm doing a dead bug, being very mindful of my movements, not just trying to power through, not just trying to get it in, get it out, but doing it as slowly and efficiently as possible, where I'm really using all my muscles and I'm
Mm-hmm.
using my breath and then I'm getting more out of it. So it's not about necessarily bumping up the weights, but it's about, am I really utilizing everything in each part of this movement?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that's the way to go too. You got to really see if because you're not going to see any any changes or results if you're not doing the way you're saying
Yeah.
to do it. And that's amazing. I haven't done Pilates yet. Me and my friend, we have one scheduled in May. In May, we
Mm.
have a Pilates. That'll be my first time. But I've done yoga,
Yep.
and I go to a friend's yoga here and there, and I enjoy that because it helps you with your balance, breathing,
Yep.
and kind of it really like lets you know where your body's at too.
Yeah.
It's a good check-in
Yeah.
point. Like, okay, where's my body? Because man, you wanna put a ton of liberty on during that time because your
And the
balance yeah,
balance.
your balance is really,
Yeah.
like, it shows. So and then, but I like lifting weights, and I love walking as well. I
Mhm.
think I take my dog, he benefits as well when I walk, but walking, especially outside, is just a blessing.
Oh, 100%.
It just
Yeah,
makes you feel so good, and that sun is just
absolutely.
but yeah, so I think did I touch base on every single patch?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know if I did or not.
We've definitely given the audience
Yeah.
a really good preview
Okay.
to like want to
I was
look
like,
into it
I'm
and
like,
search
I don't know,
more.
but yeah.
One last thing I wanted to touch on, kind of bringing full circle 2 points that we touched on earlier. We were talking about both with you can't change anyone else but yourself,
Hmm.
and then also being in a public speaking place and feeling overwhelmed, which is weird because you're like so passionate and wanting to share, but at the same time, all of a sudden you're getting very self-conscious and it's
Oh yeah.
difficult.
Uh-huh.
Um, and a narrative shift that I did in that particular situation, and it's helped me a lot with like babes when we're in a full circle and we're like sharing our business, is I shifted from being in my own head of how am I coming across? How am I being perceived? I hope I'm doing a good job to I know that what I'm offering is of value. I am I am putting it out there as service for others. And I know and trust that the right people will find me.
Yes.
So it's not about necessarily connecting with each and every single person there because not each and every single person is my people and is
Oh
what I
yeah.
need. But
Yeah.
it's more about like, I'm just offering something out there that I know can add value and
Yep.
service. And the right people will come
Yes.
and not being worried about that,
Yes.
you know?
And that's exactly. And that's been something I switched on to since I've started SuperPatch is that I am attracting the people that I want to serve. Like that's how I look into it when I am on social media. I will attract the right people and I will, you know, what's that word?
Deflect, maybe?
Deflect the other. Yeah, we'll use that.
Yeah, go with
And
that one.
deflect the people that, I do not, that I don't need to attract. Like you said, we don't need to attract everyone.
Yeah,
We're not trying to get everyone. We just want to get the people that see, we want to attract the people that will will align with you,
right.
to have that connection that aligns with you. And they're going to be people, like you said, haters out there and be like, no way, whatever. Well, okay, then move on,
That's fine.
like,
That's fine.
yeah, exactly. Move on and go about your day. And, but yeah, not our businesses are not for everyone. And
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because even with like the space of selling coffee, like my bags are $22 for a bag of coffee, and some people will buy it and not blink,
Yep.
and some people will start to negotiate with me, and then some people be like, no, no, that's too pricey, and just walk away, and that's okay. Like not everyone's my target audience,
Right.
but my people
Uh-huh.
are my people,
Yes.
you know? And then also in terms of like changing others, like so hard to change yourself. So changing others is like not even in like a thought process. It's more about, but I have noticed that when I do focus on my own growth coming from like a giving place, not a selfish place, but a giving place of
Hmm.
wanting to better myself,
Oh yeah.
that energy changes my environment.
Hmm.
Sometimes the people who aren't meant for me leave, but then sometimes the people around me upgrade just through being in that energy space.
Now, when did you start your entrepreneurial journey? What year was that?
I would say that was 2024.
2024. So since the time you started until now, have you noticed the rooms that you're getting into now are different from where you started?
Yeah.
And how, like, that's what I have felt as well. Getting into rooms, being with people that are like-minded and that are looking for the future, not looking at the past as
Yeah.
much, you know?
Oof. Yeah.
Not looking at the past or what was, or like being in rooms that people are, we're doing this now and then this is the future of it.
Yeah.
That is a game changer when you have forward thinking people.
It's really been wild because, I mean, forget therapy, just become an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like, there is
True.
nothing like entrepreneurship to really make you have a very clear mirror of who you are and what you lack in and what your insecurities are. And also, just pardon my French, the bullshit of things that you tell yourself that are holding you back and they're not. And then when you do finally overcome whatever it is that's holding you back, big or small, all of a sudden you're like, okay, so everything's really just an excuse, and it's a matter of, am I ready to take on what I'm ready to take on? I'm being real about that,
Hmm.
like either I'm going to be quiet and not talk about it if I'm not willing to walk the walk, or I need to realize that here are the steps that I need to take. It's been really difficult for me to be around certain family members, friends, whatever, when I just hear them talk about why they can't do something, and I'm like, you just don't want to. And that's okay.
Oh yeah,
And that's
yeah,
okay.
right.
But let's not act like there's really reasons why you can't do it. Because especially in the entrepreneurship world, I have met people all ages, all stages, do the things that you say are impossible. So it's not because I'm young and single and don't have kids. And it's not like I've seen people with kids do it. I've seen people who are way older who have been in their corporate world for over 2 decades, 3 decades, step away and do it. Like
Yep.
at any point, people can do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Do you want to, and do you want to put the time in? Because it's going to take time.
It's
It's
gonna
going to
take
take
time.
commitment.
Yeah,
And some people don't want to do that, or they don't see the value in it at that point,
and that's okay.
and that's okay.
But
Because
don't say that you can't,
oh yeah,
because
yeah,
that's my
that's
thing.
limiting.
That's limiting. I'm really, I think it's been very, there's certain people I've just cut out of my life who are like negative or have scarcity mindset, you know?
Yeah, the scarcity mindset.
I
Yeah.
just, I can't do it. And I think to be honest, I'm personally grateful that I haven't met my husband yet because being an entrepreneur, I'm an entirely different human being than I was prior. And I just feel like the kind of man that I would need in my life and the kind of man that I would want in my life is just a different beast,
Oh yeah,
you know?
it'll be a different person, and it, like, I know you probably heard this before, but it'll be when you least expect it.
Oh, good, because I'm never expecting.
It will happen when you least expect it,
Yeah.
because I mean, um, yeah, I've
Listen,
just seen that over and
I
over.
have so much peace about it, and it's none of my business, is how I see it. If there was something that I can do to control it, then I would, but I just trust the timing of my life, truly.
That's good because, you know, at I didn't meet my husband until I was like 28, 27. Yeah, he's probably gonna watch this and be like, Lindsay, you don't even know. And I'm like, I don't know. I always ask him what year are we on our anniversary? I ask him how long have we been together.
It sounds like you're unbothered.
And yeah, it might be I'm unbothered. But I know he takes care of it. Like he has the more analytical mind. He
Sounds like he's obsessed with you.
oh my gosh, if
You
he
guys do
watches
have
this.
really cute date nights. I love watching yours.
Yes, we
It's
need
fun.
more date nights, and it's coming, but he's very supportive. He's quieter. All his friends, when I first started dating him, he's not super outgoing. He's more of an observer. He sits back and kind of looks around and gauges what's going on and stuff. And he's thinking in his head, having his own little comments in his head and stuff. But when he gets warmed up and he's in the room with people, he'll come out of his shell.
Yeah.
But he lets me do my thing, and I'm very grateful of that. Um, but as long as I'm showing up as a mom and a wife as well, and not putting that on the back burner, because let's be real, it can happen.
And you
And
made a commitment.
yeah, and a lot of moms and wives that have started businesses, they all know what I'm talking about. You know, so it's kind of like making that balance, which is very, very important. That should be the top priority is making that balance
Yeah.
because then,
But it sounds like that's your headspace. Like you want to do that.
yes,
And it also sounds like you guys have great communication in terms of having those hard conversations and
it can.
probably
Yeah.
more than you want to,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah, it can.
But it's important to
It
like
is
be on
very
the
important.
same page versus like I think the worst thing you can do in a relationship is just be resentful and
Yeah, you don't want
observe and
resent.
not talk it out, you
You
know?
were very correct on that. You do not want to have any resentment at all
Yeah.
because that kind of deteriorates the relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like you said, you don't want that scarcity mindset. Y- and plus when you're starting a business, you either want to go all in,
Mm-hmm.
like you don't want to dip your toes. Have you ever heard of that? People just dipping their toes like, "Oh, okay, I tried it,
Yeah.
didn't work," you know?
There's a balance to that as well. I have learned where this is kind of a reframe that I've done recently where I was putting it all in and not dipping my toes and just being like completely putting myself out there. But especially in the beginning, you can't afford to have the whole team, right? It's just you.
It's just you, yeah.
And so, because of that, you need to make sure that your energy is good, that you're getting your workouts and you're spending time with your family and your friends, and you're still eating normally and sleeping normally.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's not, there is no such thing as an overnight success. It's just people finally notice you after 10 years of you putting in the work every day.
Well, isn't the average like you don't really hit it, you don't really see the well, you know, you sow the seeds and
Hmm.
the harvest. You don't
Yeah.
really see the harvest. Typically, I think the average is 6 years in business, and that's
Yep.
when it really, that's I think I've heard that it really starts showing up, six
Absolutely.
years in business. So I'm in three and you're in two,
Almost two.
almost
For
two.
coffee, almost two.
Mm-hmm.
For my podcast, it was, gosh, is it sad that I don't even, I know it was August 31st, but I want to say it was 2023.
Okay. So your podcast became before your coffee.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, which is great. I was working corporate when I started my podcast.
Yeah.
I was afraid I was going to run out of guests.
Nope. That
Nope.
has not happened.
It has not happened. I've got a wait list. I've got people
That
I need to circle back
Oh
on.
my gosh,
I
that's
have people
amazing.
on my list in my head who I haven't even approached yet who I want to talk to.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
it's
And the way you communicate and get out there and talk with people, like you're gonna always have a list because you're always networking.
I am, and I'm not even looking at it as networking. I just freaking love people. I do. I really do. It's I find people fascinating. Like I find the super patch fascinating, but I find you fascinating. Like, why are you so intrigued by it? Like, why is it important to you? You know, the guts and the story and what sets your soul on fire. Like, that's what I love.
Yes.
So,
So I love this because it really just super patch. When I joined, it got me out of my comfort zone. I showed up on social media more. I got more traction. I have direct messages every day, people asking about the super patch.
amazing.
Every day I'm talking with somebody. So I'm always in conversations. There's no competition. So they're not like, oh, but I use this. They'll send me some of those other patches and I'll be like, well, it's not the same thing. This has ingredients, this doesn't. And then they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. You know, like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, okay. And so like they're, you know, because people don't understand super patch. You know, it's advanced, the technology. But then when I broke it down to you with the braille, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and so um there's a lot of research, science behind it, but what really people just need to know is how they feel with it. And that's when you get believers is when you do
Yeah.
the balance test and they feel it in real time.
Hmm.
Within seconds, they feel it.
That was wild.
Yes. And that's everyone. They're like, oh my gosh, like, no way. I had a lady that told me to take it off and redo her, and she went back to her normal self. Like, I was able to
It was
tip her over a little bit, you know, and
wild.
she's like, okay, what? So you're not waiting 90 days like with typical other things, you know, in the health and wellness space. You're not waiting 90 days to feel a result. You're feeling it in seconds.
Right.
And so, what else out there is like that when you can have results in seconds?
Yeah, and even if someone's out there who is still skeptical, right? Like we talked about beforehand, if you consider this a sugar pill, but it works, who cares? It's my thought too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, even if it really was a sugar pill, even if the science wasn't true and all
Like a
that.
placebo or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
Yeah.
if it was like a placebo effect, but I'm getting the results that I want, is that not worth it?
I mean, I've
That's
got it.
how I
Yeah,
feel, you know?
exactly, right.
Like, if I'm struggling with pain in my feet and then I put on this patch and then I don't feel pain, and you're telling me it's a sugar pill, but I don't feel pain, I'm sorry. Like, that still seems plausible to me.
Right.
Call me crazy,
Yeah,
but
and
it's
it's
like,
still that connection with the body and brain, isn't it, still, no matter which way you go about it.
yeah,
But we do have research on those pain patches,
right.
and we know for a fact they do something.
And what I would love to do is in the notes of this podcast,
Yes,
I'll link it.
yes, I was gonna ask
I'm
you
gonna
about
link
that.
with all the info is gonna be
Yeah,
with there. I'll
mhm.
do your Instagram page, the Super Patch website, your code, because I know you have a special code that people will use it, they'll get some discounts off. And then also the research for people who
Yeah,
wanna
I was gonna
do a
give you
deep
all
dive.
that for the bottom half, I can
Yeah,
send that to you. I was thinking about that on the way drive over here. I was like, I need to give her all of those information because people are gonna be like, "Give me the science.
for
Give
sure.
me the research.
For
I need to
sure.
see this."
Yeah,
Wh
this was the soul. This was my personal testimony about why I love it and why I love you. And so now people can continue on the conversation, reach out to you, do the
Yeah.
research. I could talk to you forever, but
Yeah.
I want to be respectful of your
Yeah,
time.
no, you're good, and, I got this on subscription, by the way. I do.
Isn't it so young?
It's so good. I got the, what did I get? I got the dark roast. It was one
The
of the
Sumatra.
do you have a different dark roast?
I have a Guatemala. That's a medium roast. You might have gotten that. I think you got the Sumatra. I think that was the one you got.
Okay, yeah. That
Yeah.
one was really good. It is, it was, like, woody,
Hmm.
very earthy tones,
Yep.
and so that was really good. It's, and oh my gosh, when I opened up the package, when I got it in the mail and I just took out the bag itself, the smell, like, it
Right.
smells fresh.
It's so fresh.
Oh my gosh, I was like, I could smell this bag all day. Sometimes it's just, like, the smell of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know have you ever came across somebody that was like, "I don't like the coffee,"
But
like,
I
or
love
no,
the
I don't li
smell.
no,
Everyone.
no, they don't like the smell.
I've never met anyone who doesn't like the smell of coffee. I've met a lot of people who don't like coffee or can't have coffee for
But they
dinner.
like the smell?
Always love the smell. So, little sprinkle of a fun fact for if you love the smell. This is also great if you're having a dinner party or if you're just having an open house. Get a bowl of coffee beans
Yeah.
and then get vanilla tea lights and kind of embed it into the coffee. And when you light it, it will warm up the coffee beans. So your house will smell like vanilla and coffee.
Ooh, I'm
It
gonna have to do
smells
that.
so good.
Mm,
And it looks so cute.
it does look good. I've
Yeah.
seen it at places, but I've never done it at home.
Yeah. I have this tradition. At the end of every podcast
Mhm.
episode, I always ask my guests to share their favorite life lesson or quote because this whole podcast is based on this Hebrew quote, which is "Eze hacham halamed mikol adam," which means one who is wise is one who learns from everyone. We've learned so much from you, and I know we just scratched the surface. But if you can leave us with like one last life lesson or quote, what would it be?
Okay, well, I'm not good with quotes.
That's
Like, I
okay.
don't retain quotes.
That's okay.
One life lesson. Let's see. I would say one life lesson is your influence is not going to be, I guess, okay, let me register that. So the influence, like your influence on people is not going to be anything huge or miraculous if you're looking for like gratification or if you're looking for people to congratulate you and to feel like you want that recognition. Your influence only makes a difference if you are helping others and serving others.
Mm,
I think that's what we are put on the earth for, is to help others and
hmm.
serve others and have that influence. And I believe that social media, we people should tap into that, and that's what the main objective should be for social media, is to influence people to be to become better, to serve them, to help them out. And so I think with having these platforms, TikTok as well, now that you have shown me that we can actually gear towards that, and I think we are transitioning towards that.
Yeah.
It's just going to take time, but That's what I would say.
I love it. And you're living it, right? That is what
I
you're doing.
yes, that's why I show up every day. I wanna help people. I love the testimonies that come out from what I'm sharing and what they're purchasing from me and what they experience. Like, the feedback I get, that's what drives me, and that's what keeps it going. Yes, to build a, legacy at some point and to have this carry down to my son, but, at this moment is to really just connect with people and and to spread the word about what we have.
I love it. That's awesome.
Mhm.
I know we kind of touched on it, but one last thing of just what can my community do to help you?
So, I would say if you know somebody that that needs support in focus, energy, sleep, if they need focus, they need help and support in pain management, or if they're struggling financially, SuperPatch has a amazing business opportunity. We have patches that help everything, from um, not being able to, function during the day because you're too overwhelmed or you're too stressed out or you're too tired, or you're not getting enough sleep, and or you're in pain all the time and you need some relief. We have options and we have support that way. So if you know anybody that could use any of those aspects, or just having a better quality of life, either with income or the health aspect, to reach out to me, and I could share what I have has worked with other people and what has worked for myself, and that has worked for you.
Yeah.
And then that's what or if you have any other further questions, I'm more than welcome. Like, I love to help you out and see what we could do.
Yeah. And we'll link everything in the bio so
Hmm.
people can find you.
Oh yeah,
This
that'd be
has been
great.
so much
Yeah, thank you
fun.
so much.
Thanks for coming on.
I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been another great episode. Thank you so much for listening or watching. And if you're not currently watching, the video can be found on Spotify or YouTube. I'm trying to grow my audience on YouTube more. So if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Please hit that subscribe button and share this episode with a friend. I hope you guys have a great week. Let's get it. Let's go.